Hello. I am the Linux Mensch. Today I'm going to show you how to share files between the host machine and the guest machine using Virt-Manager. So let's get to it. So the first thing you want to do is in your host machine, you want to make sure you have a shared folder. So I'm just going to ls my host machine, and I have a folder here called share. So let's cd into it. And let's just see what's in it. So I have two files in it. I have a -rc file, and I have a wallpaper. And of course, if I just look at it this way, you can only see the wallpaper. You can't see the hidden zesh file. So, and if you notice, my shared folder is called share, and there's no capitals in it. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to my virtual machine. I'm going to go to Virt-Manager. And in Virt-Manager, I have these machines here. I have this Arch Linux machine, which I installed on April the 8th. And I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to make this full screen. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go down here to add hardware. So I'm going to click that on. And I'm going to go to File System. And I'm going to change this menu up here from VirtOFS to virtio-9p. Then I'm going to use this Browse button. And I'm going to go to Browse Local. And I'm going to go to my home folder. And I'm going to click on this Share folder. I'm going to open it. So it's going to look like that. Home, Allen, Share. Then I'm going to go into this here, and I'm going to type in the /. I'm going to type in sharepoint, just like that. And I'm going to finish it. Now, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to open up my virtual machine of Arch Linux. So I'm going to have a virtual machine of Arch Linux running on a host machine of Arch Linux. Arch and Arch. Yeah, you can do that. So I'm going to make this full screen. And I'm going to type in my password. And it's just going to take a moment to load up. And now I am loaded into a virtual machine of Arch Linux with the Cinnamon desktop. Let's go here. I'm going to go into the terminal. And I'm going to make a folder. mkdir share. And I'm going to spell it exactly the same way. No caps. Just make it exactly the same as my shared folder on my host machine. And let's go into it. So now we're in it. And let's ll it. And there's nothing there. ls it. There's nothing there. Let's close this. Let's go into my Nemo. And you can see it here, share. It's empty. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into here, and I'm going to type in vim. I'm going to look up my zesh-rc file. And I'm just going to type in vm share. Okay. So if you see line 269, I have an alias called VM share. And when I type in VM share, it's going to type in this command, and this is the command you want. You want a sudo mount, and I know it's hard to read like that. So let's just go back here. Line 269. What you want to do is put sudo mount space -t space 9p space -0 and sorry -o, and that is a -o and it's not a 0. Trans equal virtio space /sharepoint space share. So of course you can understand why I made an alias for this, because I'm not going to remember that command, and I'm not going to want to type that command. So every time you log in, every time you reboot into your virtual machine, you're going to have to put that command in. So of course you want an alias. And if you downloaded my zshrc file, it should be there. If you're using your own zshrc file, or you're using fish, your own fish file, or you're using your own bash configuration file, you want to for sure you're going to want to make an alias with that there. So number one, because you're not going to remember it, and number two, every time you boot into your VM and you want to access your shared folder, you're going to have to put that command in. So let's just get out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in VM share. It's going to ask for my password. I put my password in, and now I'm connected. So now if we cd into our share, and we ls it, we see I have my wallpaper there. If we ll it, we see I have my wallpaper, and I have a copy of my zshrc file, which is a dot file, and it's hidden. Now let's get out of there. Let's close this. Let's go into Nemo. So now we see we have two ways of accessing the share file. We can just go here, share, and there's my wallpaper. We can show hidden, and there's my zesh file. Or we can access it this way. When you click in, you can see the wallpaper, and you can also show hidden or hide the dot files. And that's how you access it. Now, if I reboot, let's shut down. Now I'm going to shut down. I'm going to go back to my host. So in my host machine, I'm going to go into my share folder, and I'm going to make a file called test. And I'm going to type in this is a test from my host machine. I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to get out of there. Let's get out of there. So let's go back to my virtual machines, and let's open up this. Now, that thing at the beginning where I showed you how to hook up a file system, this thing here, you only have to do this once per virtual machine. Once it's done, you don't have to do it again. So I'm going to open my virtual machine. Oops, let's get out of there. Let's log in. Just booting up. And put my password in. And here we are. We are in my virtual machine of Arch Linux with the Cinnamon desktop. So let's say we go into Nemo. can see the share folder is there, but it's empty. Now, let's go into my terminal. So every time you boot into your VM, you're going to have to do this, run this command, which is an alias, right? So, and I'm going to put my password in. Remember, the command is not VM share. My VM share is an alias for the command I showed you before. Let's close out of there. Let's go back into Nemo, and of course you can do this in the terminal as well. So let's go in now, share, and you can see there it is, and there's my test file. And if I show hidden, there's my zshrc file, which you do not need to have your zshrc file in the share folder. I just happen to have it there. And let's go to the terminal. Let's open up the terminal. Let's do ls. Oops. Let's cd into share. Let's do ls. And you can see test. Let's cat test. And there it is. This is a test from my host machine. Or we can vim into it. This is a test from my home machine. Let's get out of there. And that's how you do it. Now, what's really interesting is, let's close this. Let's say you stay booted in, but you want to log into something else. So let's log out. Let's log into the awesome window manager. Put my password in. And now I'm in the awesome window manager. And let's see. So let's open up PCManFM. And as you can see, here's my share folder, and I'm also mounted here. So you can go in either way. See, I'm still logged into it. So my hidden files, and of course, like I said, you don't need your zshrc file to be in there. I just happen to have mine in there. You can log in that way, or you can log in this way. And there's my files. Let's open up this text editor. There it is there. This is a test from my host machine. So you can go in that way. Let's log out. Let's go into Qtile. Put my password in. And let's open up, let's just go into PCManFM. We are here, and there it is. I'm still hooked up. So the only time you have to run that command, the full command, or use your alias to run that command, is when you do a reboot into your virtual machine. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I am the Linux Mensch.